Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the trading session. Well, it is Friday, and the weekend is right next to us. And yeah, I hope you had a great week. I hope you will have a great weekend as well. There's plenty of sun here in Portugal, so if you're from Portugal or a sunny place, yeah, just enjoy the sun this weekend. So yeah, let's get straight into the markets, and let's see what we can eventually anticipate for Friday's action. I have something here already, since price came from the 25th of June until now. It's just rallying to the upside. If you look into higher time frames here, you can see that price really is digging to the upside. It's climbing to the upside. We have buy side liquidity right here above us, but looking into the projections, which are quite clean here, as you can see, prices stopping right at these projections. We can see that price came outside 2.5 standard deviation, and whenever it comes outside like this, it can eventually gives a retrace to the downside. I believe that everybody is trying to sell today because we had an expansion day, an expansion week, and yeah, everybody is waiting for a retrace. So that might be possible, and that might happen. But keep in mind, when everybody is doing the same, usually the market tends to punish everybody and do quite the opposite. Because yeah, we are in a rush to get to buy side liquidity, as you can see here. Price didn't stop that much on this run, and yeah, we can eventually keep running and making this a large expansion week, as you can see here. So this is the weekly candle that we are trading right now. So we can continue expand to the upside, trying to reach for buy side liquidity. I know that's a lot. It's a 1% move, but yeah, it's feasible, it's doable. But yeah, the most expected thing here is that we will eventually retrace a bit lower, something like a thank God it's Friday setup, taught by ICT. If you look into the daily, it is prices inside the daily fair value gap. It tried to reach out of it, but it had no strength to do it. And yeah, we will probably, the most probable thing is that we will move a little bit lower, eventually trying to reach for this BISI here, this CB, yeah, this BISI. But yeah, let's see what we will have. Price is just opening. We have some kind of a, as you can see here, power of 3 or AMD as well, accumulation during Asia, manipulation during London, and eventually we are now seeking for some type of a distribution lower. But yeah, let's see. We will have to wait a little bit just to evaluate what price really wants to do. I would like to see a strong open, taking out all this liquidity, and then eventually a move to the downside, because that's what usually happens. You can see now that we have some kind of a consolidation or accumulation here. This could eventually be the manipulation, so price will eventually move to the upside, taking out this liquidity here. But it's kind of soon to say anything about price, honestly. 9:30 open, right above, right at the same level at what is the event horizon. So both are in the same level. I need to reach this a little bit more to my left. There we are. Keep in mind that we will have news at 10 a.m. So I will probably wait for 10 a.m. to do something if we are allowed to do something today. And yeah, that might be eventually the plan for today's action. So what I would like to see, honestly, it's a move down. But I have to keep in mind that whenever everybody's trying to chase the same thing, I tend to disbelieve in that type of scenarios. So let's see. Nothing is quite nothing is quite how should I say it? Nothing is quite sure now. So let's see how price will develop. So let me just bring this a little bit more to my left, even more, just to, there we go. So just move this to here. Beep, 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 beep. Well, so far, NQ and ES doing almost the same here. Just a zigzag here, nothing to work with, honestly. This here was a clean setup as we had some liquidity down below. We already took London lows here, which might be kind of suspicious as well. But let's see. So far, there's nothing. So price is just barcoding right now. I will just mark the 952 1010 macro, just to have that in mind. Eventually mark the 1052 1110 macro as well. Okay. So no first presented fair value gap so far on ES. We have a tiny one on NQ, but ES is still playing here. So there's not much action. I would like to see price coming a little bit here to the upside, trying to manipulate and try to gather some more longs here, and eventually displace to the downside, giving us a clear market structure shift to the downside. And yeah, attacking eventually Asia lows. That would be the most playable thing. If price just continues to creep higher, it will be kind of hard to engage with. Yeah, price trying to displace a little bit higher. So far everything is according and it's happening according to what I would like to see. Now let's see if this is some type of a unicorn setup where this is the breaker and we have a fair value gap here which will be respected and price will continue higher, or if this will just be a purge of this liquidity here, the liquidity pre-open, and then we will move lower. This is what I would like to see, honestly. Something like this, price reaching higher and eventually coming here, displacement to the downside, retesting something, and then move lower. This is what I would like to see. But since price is really in a hurry to all-time highs, we can see something like this happening. And yeah, price just moves to the upside without giving us any type of retrace. But yeah, it is usual for price to retrace as soon as it hits minus 2.5 standard deviation, as you can see here. If I zoom out a little bit here, you can see that price is really it played above during London. It played above 2.5 standard deviation, and it's now retracing a bit and reacting somehow, as you can see here. So let's see if we will have this fake out to the upside and continue lower, or if we will just move higher like it's been the last couple of days. So on ES, yeah, we have a smaller first presented fair value gap here. This is the smaller one. Here, it's tiny. So I guess you can consider this one, or eventually can stretch just like this and embrace the two. So for now, it is kind of respecting the first presented fair value gap. So in normal conditions, if price would not was not that high and was not that at minus 2.5 standard deviation, in normal conditions, this would be a bullish setup, reaching for eventually 830 open. Yeah, on the 15 minutes, I was searching for some kind of a PD array on the 15-minute, but we don't have none. We just have some type of a BPR. As you can see here, prices trying to move higher. It kind of respected the first presented fair value gap here on ES as well. So if you look into the 4-hour candle, it's just a doji with a wick to the upside and a wick to the downside. So kind of indecisive 4-hour candle. So no direction right now. Yeah, this is the breaker here. So, and if you take a projection here, looking into trying to see where price really wants to go from here. Yeah, you can see that -2 standard deviation stands for this high here. -1.5 stands for the 8:30 opening. Yeah, just let me be a little bit more precise here. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if this will hold. If this will not hold, then I will eventually search for some type of a retrace lower. Otherwise, we will continue to move higher. We have some relative equal highs here. Price will probably take those. So yeah, guys, so far this setup is kind of holding. The breaker got touched right to the tick here. The first presented fair value gap is holding as well. So I presume these relative equal highs will get hit, and then I would like to see some kind of displacement to the downside. Otherwise, if price does not get weaker here, I can consider that it will be an up only scenario, and the bearish scenario would be some kind of invalidated here. But so far, clean read on price. I would not interact with it because we have 10 a.m. news. So, and this run to the downside pre-open was kind of easy to comprehend and to see. Here you can see it also an accumulation pre 9:30. As soon as the 9:30 opens, you can see a manipulation to the downside here. Just like I mentioned, taking out London lows and then the expansion to the upside. So once again, the accumulation, manipulation, distribution theory is in place here. It's in place in every time frame. You just have to train your eyes to see it. It will take some time, but as soon as you start to see it, you will see it in every time frame. So here I would like to see price coming to these lows, to these highs, eventually to this fair value gap, but I would like to see it getting weaker and for a bearish scenario. Otherwise, we will eventually continue higher. Seems like NQ is a bit weaker here. We are entering 950, so the macro will be activated. Buy side liquidity here is taken as well as these relative equal highs. So let's see now if price wants to start to drive a little bit lower, or if it will maintain this upside only. We have 9 minutes until news as well, so we still have to wait. Price entering the fair value gap here. Let me just check the regular trading hours. So regular trading hours, yeah, no retracement so far. Just let me see. Yeah, not even 25% of a retracement here. So it might be a bullish sign as well. But in order to be bullish, in order to be bullish for the rest of the session, I would like to see price above 830. Notice that we rejected event horizon, we rejected a midnight open as well, and we are moving to the upside. So 7 minutes until the news driver hits. Yeah, price trying to get above the let me just check here. If I had opened a long here, how would this be? Yeah, 1 point. Yeah, this high would be a 2-hour trade. I could eventually put my stop below the breaker. So yeah, now let's see if because at this point ES is kind of stronger than NQ. ES moving higher and higher. This was some type of a clean setup here. Unfortunately, we have 10 a.m. news. See, guys, everybody was waiting for that. Thank God it's Friday setup, and price is doing exactly the opposite, just like I told you in the first minutes of the stream. Yeah, usually it's like that, and since price is really in a hurry to reach for all-time highs, it might continue to the upside without giving us any chance here to interact. See, displacing once again here. Just let me see how far price is now. Yeah, it reached for -2 standard deviation. So at this point, if you are in a long, you should take your profits out or part of your profits. Yeah, now 3 minutes until news. Buy side liquidity is taken on ES. So this buy side liquidity here is taken. And now let's see. what will happen, since in between ES and Q there's an SMT on lower time frames. The 1 minute, the 15 minutes, not on the 4 hour. Let me just check the 1 hour. Yeah, on the 1 hour we also have an SMT, but yeah, but these candles are still playing, so yeah, 1 minute until news. So let's see what will happen after news, if we will have any chance to interact with the market or not. At this point, we reached -2 standard deviation on ES. So there we go. News. It reached for -2.5. NQ still heading to the upside as well. Nice push here. Yeah, still pushing here a little bit higher. Let's see where it will end. Just let me check. Yeah, retrace the event horizon here. Touch the event horizon and then push to the upside. And it will probably reach for the next end walk. Let's see. So far, the 950 macro is a bullish macro with a big and large expansion. Yeah, guys, this was a bullish setup. We identified the unicorn model here, which is a composition with a breaker and a fair value gap at the same levels here, as you can see. It gave us some kind of a displacement to the upside, it retraced back, and then moved higher. First stop was at -2, and it's now still digging higher here. If you look into the 4-hour chart, it's a one-sided chart, honestly. So everybody was expecting some kind of a thank God it's Friday setup where it retraces lower, but yeah, nothing bearish here, only bullish. Yeah, and it was after hitting sell side liquidity as London lows, so this was some type of a clean setup. I was waiting for 10 a.m. news, so can't complain. And yeah, we purged London lows. We formed a breaker, displaced to the upside, forming a fair value gap, retraced back to that fair value gap, and then moved higher. I mean, taking out all this liquidity that was formed on the pre-open. You can frame this just like this as well. So pre-open, you have some type of accumulation. Then you will have your manipulation to the downside here, right at the open, and then your distribution after the open. So this is the power of 3, or eventually AMD. So accumulation, manipulation, distribution. It is usually framed in between 9 and 9:30. In between 9 and 9:30, you will have accumulation and manipulation, and then you just have to wait for the macro to hit or the distribution to start. It started a little bit earlier, as you can see here, but yeah, usually it is like this. So this is a completely a one-sided market for the last couple of days. This was a clean setup once again. But yeah, we couldn't interact because we were waiting for the 10 a.m. news that can eventually take us out from a trade. In this case, it wouldn't, but usually it behaves like this and can eventually take you out of a trade. So green candles only here for the past, I don't know, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 40, 32, 36, 40, 48 hours full of green candles on the 4-hour chart. So yeah, at this point, we will have to wait until price hits -4 standard deviation and then see if there's any type of reaction here. But it might be one of those days that, yeah, we will do nothing since price is just one-sided. This is just like trying to catch a running train. And if you try to catch a running train, usually you get hurt. Let me just put the 3 and 3.5 just to see where price is. So it stopped right at minus 3.5. But yeah, I believe we will reach for -4. And eventually, since price is just in a hurry to reach for all-time highs, it might be, it might eventually go even further, eventually -6. Let me just project this to -6, which usually is the ultimate target. If we project this to -6, yeah, it will give us some confidence for the next end walk, which is here, is this shaded area. Yeah, guys, at this point, there's not much we can do, honestly, unless we see something very aggressive coming down. Otherwise, we still have to wait for some kind of structure to be formed. And yeah, there's nothing we can do right now. It was a quick move to the upside. Honestly, I have not seen such a quick move for a while now, since price has been just creeping and creeping up on the New York AM sessions. But yeah, it was some type of a clean move, honestly. We kind of missed it because we had 10 a.m. news and we were waiting for it. We'll probably have to be not that strict with these type of news. Otherwise, I can see myself missing a lot of momentum in the market, especially when you have days like this. So -3, -3.5. Yeah, it stopped right in -3.5. Should give us a correction eventually until this fair value gap here, eventually lower. But messing with a market that it's so bullish, it's kind of dangerous. So ES retracing back a little bit here, while NQ is still somewhere here. Eventually this fair value gap should hold. At this point we have some type of a breaker here, a bearish breaker. But I'm not willing to short a market like this. It's kind of, we need more structure to be able to short something like this, because if you look into the 15 minutes, the 15 minutes is just 3 candles to the upside, so we can eventually retrace back to the 15-minute breaker. If you look at it somewhere, just let me, it's 6219, 6219, so it should be around here, the 15-minute bullish breaker. So eventually we can retrace down until there, but as soon as we reach for it, we can do U-turn and eventually continue higher. So now we need some structure here. Price needs to be here for a while, eventually manipulate lower, move higher, and continue higher. If you look into ES and NQ, we have some type of a SMT here. Yeah, right here. So it can eventually continue higher without giving without giving us the structure. Mm-mm. See, price is giving that structure that we need. It's just mumbling around, just consolidating a little bit until it has the necessary structure to give us the next move. So that's why I said that we should wait for more structure to be built. Now we are displacing lower here. So let's see if price really wants to touch the 15-minute breaker, or if it will displace lower and give us lower prices. There's no SMT at the top here in between ES and Q. We are outside macro hour as well. Let's just see where equilibrium of the range is. It's a little bit lower. So the breaker here was kind of respected. It reached a little bit outside of it, but yeah, it was kind of respected here. Price came to -2 standard deviation. It reached for this high here. So yeah, this was the breaker. If we look into OT levels here, just let me check. Yeah, price is trying to support probably here. Okay. Looking at the 4 hour, yeah, we still have 3 hours for this candle to close, but it retraced back a lot right now. Let's see what the 1050 macro can give us. Price just holding here. It's holding here at the OT levels, as you can see. We have a bearish fair value gap here as well. So this is some type of unicorn to the downside as well. Let's see if this one gets respected or if it will move a bit higher. So far, OT levels are being respected. Price is trying to suppress this fair value gap here. So it's digging inside of it. And yeah, seems like we will move a little bit lower. And Q a bit heavier here. While ES is still inside this fair value gap here. Yes, structure is being built here, as you can see. So ES is stuck inside this fair value gap. It's still respecting OTE levels. At the same time, it has a bearish fair value gap above. It has a breaker as well. So this could eventually be a unicorn type of setup to the downside. But since we are on a higher time frame, since we are kind of bullish, it's tricky to be bearish right now. It is acceptable for price to come a little bit lower, but I would not like to see. I would not expect it to go with displacement and with speed to the downside. It can be a high resistance move to the downside, just like this, until 1050, and then 1050 it can manipulate a little bit more and then move to the upside and continue, because it seems like it's working on a low resistance here type of descent. We will wait until 1050, so we have about 25 minutes just to see what will happen. So nice displacement here to the upside. It's a bit previous to the macro. We still have some SMTs on the lows. Let me just check here. Yeah, we have some SMT at the lows. So price displacing, taking out already this high here. So this fair value gap here really held. Price came down to -2 standard deviation. We have some type of SMTs at the highs on ES and NQ. The 15-minute seems a bit odd. Let's see how price will react here. Price retracing down to the inverted fair value gap. But let's see if this really holds or if we move higher, if we move lower, because we already took buy side liquidity here as well with a strange move to the upside pre macro. We have some SMT in between NQ and ES as well. So at this point, or we will go higher or we will invert this one once again and move lower, targeting midnight open eventually. Yeah, but it seems price is just holding to the upside. Let me just check how far we are from the next end walk. Yeah, we are some handles away from it. 20 handles away from the next stand walk. So here we have another breaker, which is holding once again. Only thing that's holding me here, it's really the SMT in between NQ and ES, honestly. Just let me check here. Yeah, we are approaching 10:50, so 5 minutes until 10:50. NQ and ES not doing the same right now. NQ seems a bit turned to the downside here, or just retracing back to that fair value gap, while ES is trying to push a little bit higher. Yeah, not liking how NQ is behaving right now. Yeah, it seems like NQ is trying to drag ES a little bit lower. Not willing to risk on conditions like this. But at the same time, ES seems to be prone to another run to the upside. I'll move this a little bit away from here. I will let we'll let it do its own thing. NQ just retracing down. ES is just waiting for something. Yeah, NQ and ES not symmetrical right now, so NQ is just moving below. ES trying to do the same. So let's see if this is just a manipulation since price has been um, accumulating here. Or if we will eventually move lower. Nice move to the downside. NQ dropped a lot, a bit heavier, forming some type of an SMT in between ES and NQ. Yes, still respecting OT levels here. So now let's see if it wants to come above the breaker once again, or if it will just move lower. So far, a nice reaction here. But yeah, seems like we will head lower. Price is not giving me bullish signs here. So now let's see if this fair value gap gets disrespected here. And Q is a lot heavier than ES. Now I would like to see some follow through of this move to the downside. I would like to see some follow through here. Otherwise, I will cut out something. Hmm. Yeah, price is not giving me that follow through that I would like to see here. So I will just protect myself here, just in case, since we already explored minus 2 standard deviation and minus 2.5 standard deviation. So it can really give us an inversion here inside the macro, since on the higher time frames, 15-minute, we are kind of just consolidating. NQ way cleaner here and way heavier. Let's see if we get that follow through here on price. There we go. A partial is hit. And let's see if we can let this run a bit. It would be nice to see the first presented fair value gap, but I don't believe so. Yeah. Yes, not giving us the follow through that we want, honestly. Yeah, this fair value gap is kind of holding here quite well. And we might get stopped out here at break even, but it's fine. We already have some profits in. There we go. So yeah, ES not willing to go so far as NQ. But yeah, it served the purpose, honestly. At least we made some. So yeah. So yeah, I was not that confident that price would reach for lower on ES. NQ was a bit heavier. ES was a bit heavier, and I mean NQ was a bit heavier, and I knew that this retrace would eventually give us minus 2.5 standard deviation here. So yeah, it is what it is. We got a small piece of the pie here. Fortunately, we grabbed some, and yeah, we might continue since on a 15-minute it's starting to be prone as a consolidation. We might start to, and we might continue this type of zigzag here, but yeah, we took what's ours and we moved on at this point. I'm content with enough. This could give us a retrace to the upside or eventually a continuation up, but yeah, I'm not interested anymore. So we just grabbed what's ours for right, and that's it. Honestly. So ES coming once again here. Yeah, we might have the typical um, move to the upside here, a continuation to the upside. So this was some type of manipulation. We had the consolidation here. This can eventually be the manipulation, and the move will be higher. So I was on the other side of the hand, but honestly, I don't think we will move higher from here. Um, it will take out this liquidity for sure. Looking at it into it right now, but yeah, I don't think we will move higher since NQ seems to be way better for both sides. So the manipulation here was kind of a little bit more extended to the downside, and it did not took these lows. But yeah, kind of content, honestly, since it's been a while since I've opened any trade. let's see that the main move was the opposite, honestly. So yeah, guys, I think that's it for today's price action. We missed the big the big piece of the pie. We took out a little bit smaller, a smaller one. So it is what it is. I didn't I identified the setup here. If you go back on the stream, I identified the setup here, but since we had 10 a.m. news, I just waited for it, and I probably will have to adjust my model to 10 a.m. news because they are very frequent. And yeah, if a setup just appears 30 minutes before 10 a.m. news, I don't think it makes sense for me to wait for 10 a.m. news. Otherwise, I will end up in something like this, and this is kind of hard to trade, honestly. And this is way easier, as you can see. But yeah, it is what it is. The rules say that I should not engage with news, but yeah, I will probably have to adjust that because I feel like I'm missing a lot of setups that happen before 10 a.m. news um, due to being just expecting that the news happen. And yeah, I feel kind of missing a lot of setups, but it is what it is. I've played the news before, and honestly, I didn't like it because my stop loss was triggered a lot of times. So I don't know. I will have to backtest it probably first just to see what the results can be, and yeah. Small piece of the pie here, and that's enough, honestly. Um, and that's enough. I know that I'm far away from. I'm just 2.8k from passing the combine, and at this rate, I will take a lot of time. But it is what it is. I'm just treating this as a real account. So this is how you should play, and not like some influencers on Twitter and on YouTube and Instagram say that you should full port in a single position just to pass the combine. Don't treat those combines like this because you will that behavior will migrate to real accounts. Trust me, I've been there. I've done that. Yeah, guys, this was some type of accumulation before the macro. Then you had your accumulation, your manipulation, I'm sorry, to the downside. And the expansion will probably move price a little bit higher. But honestly, I think that NQ will hold back ES, and ES will have a hard time to keep grinding higher. Otherwise, it will just creep higher, which means that price will do something like this instead of those fast moves that we like. It will probably, since it's Friday, it will probably, if we continue to go higher. But yeah, I think that's it, and that's the end of the stream here as well, because we are 2 hours in, I think. Yeah, almost 2 hours, but yeah, since it's Friday as well. And looking at the 15 minutes, I think it will consolidate for some more time, probably until New York lunch, or eventually until New York PM. And I'm not willing to wait for that. So it is what it is. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for supporting me as well. If you know someone that is interested in trading and would like to learn something, yeah, just mention my channel and drive him to my channel. I will try to help him or help her. It is what it is. We are here. Everybody is here to be educated and to learn something from this. So yeah, that's the main purpose of this channel. I'm not selling anything. As you can see, you can check my socials. There is no links. There is nothing. So I'm just here to keep disciplined and to be committed with the markets and with this, honestly. This is just a form that I found to have commitment with myself, with the markets as well, and yeah, and to just to share the knowledge and just to share how things work in a market. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you will have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your weekend. If you have sun outside, yeah, just go outside, like I will do it as well. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. And I hope to see you next Monday as well. Thank you. It was a pleasure.